Going for my day one now. This is no longer deload, so watch out. I'm also going to check out the gym that I'm probably going to be doing my comp prep in, just because it's a bit more convenient. It's longer parking, all that sort of a thing. So going to check out day one in there today and absolutely smash it. I've got my pre-workout sultanas, which is 50 grams of sultanas. It's like 40 grams of carbs. Let's go. It felt so nice to get into this session and to officially not be in a deload week, to be focusing on seeing what I can push. We're still working on my technique with my barbell deadlifts. What my coach wants to see is me tipping my bum up to the ceiling more and keeping my bar really, really close to my shin. So a little bit more weight through my midfoot. So I'm still working on this, but they felt really nice. It was also really nice to train in this gym. They have some great brand new equipment. And then of course they've got the OGs like our barbells, dumbbells, all that jazz. This one wasn't even in my program, but if I see a weighted hip extension, like I've got to use it. It felt so good. And then as well as that, being able to strap up to the handles, it completely alleviates you needing to hold anything heavy and clunky like a dumbbell or stacking several plates. And it just makes it so much nicer to isolate your glutes. It's Monday and we've officially seen a little bit of a drop. We are now down like about 1 kilo, which is cool because last week the weight was just sort of fluctuating and then a big drop this morning. Still not sleeping the best, but with my check-in with my coach, we reckon it might be due to the last meal that I'm having and potentially a bit of a blood sugar dysregulation thing. And then obviously the lack of sleep, the cortisol, that sort of goes hand in hand with the scale weight. My photos, though, you can see a huge change in them. My measurements and my fat calipers have changed too. Still obviously can't speak because she's running on fumes. No, but yeah, it's so funny because now we're dipping into the luteal phase. Okay, so we're at that phase before your bleed and your menstrual cycle, and I'm just so irritable this morning. And I've had so many moments where I've been taking in panoramic viewing, in through the nose, extended exhales out through the mouth, and so many times in my head I've either said the profanities like fuck this, fuck off, or fuck you. 11 a.m. now, 10 a.m. So in terms of just luteal phase sort of energy, so often we can get more irritable, and if your coping mechanisms, the only things you know is to get angry at people, blame people, stress eat, relate with like things that relate with food, self-sabotage, cancel your gym, like all these sorts of things where we self-sabotage because we're in a slightly heightened emotional state, it only holds us back from actually addressing and healing so that these heightened emotional states don't have to rule our day. The thing is, getting those tasks done, I could be so, for Monday morning, could be so, why is XYZ happening, or I can't believe this is so whatever else. I could make every excuse in the book to make myself the victim in a particular sort of situation, just in the day in the life, when in reality it's like, okay, I know I'm a bit more irritable. I know, no doubt, in terms of sort of having some better sleep, maybe I would be less irritable, you know, like tired and grouchy, that sort of a thing. But so knowing this, it helps to keep me so grounded as well, where I can observe these emotions instead of letting them rule my day. Bit of an ASMR breakfast after my morning walk. What we're having is eggs, egg whites, some beef liver powder, and then we're cooking it in the pan with some grass-fed butter. This brand of beef liver powder is so good. It's regenerative farming and it's really high in vitamin B and iron. It's so easy to get this in instead of trying to take iron tablets that end up just constipating you. I always fluff up my eggs in the NutriBullet and then of course pop it in the pan with everything else and some grass-fed butter. It is so tasty and delicious. I honestly have it all the time. Really wasn't in the mood to talk this week when I wasn't in the mood to talk, and so going into our upper body session this week, it was just a huge let's get it done mindset. It was a let's see what's in the tank, see what we can push with, and focus on our technique. In saying that, I also feel that my upper body is getting much more stronger. It's feeling much more even as well with the strength on both sides, which is a huge win. Of course, I'm wearing Ready or Not activewear, which I have a little discount code that you'll be able to find in the show notes too. Really is giving peak luteal phase energy. I'm like, should I film this? Should I film that? No. I guess the biggest thing is that you do want to be a slug for majority of the day. So I find I tend to become quite introverted. I don't want to chat. Like, obviously always am polite and I love chatting in person, so that's never an issue. But in terms of like online, getting back to DMs on Instagram, that sort of a thing, I just go, and so I have to remind myself, I'm like, you have to do the basics, okay, the bare minimum. Okay, we're going to set aside time. It's going in your calendar this week. Empty out those messages, okay? And basically, all I want to do each day is just curl up on the couch and watch a movie and just lie there. In terms of training, smashing through training this week. Body's feeling quite sore. That tends to happen in your luteal phase anyways. You might feel a little bit weaker. Usually you'll still be able to perform just as well, and that's for me personally. I'm very lucky that because I don't have a very high or very pro-inflammatory lifestyle, so I don't have a lot of gluten, I don't have a lot of dairy, I don't have a lot of sort of toxic stuff in the home, whatever else. When it comes to training, I can still feel, and I usually do still feel quite tired, but then today I got quite a few PBs in my session, so it's definitely not a matter of sort of like be a slug just because you feel like being a slug. You can always get what you set out to get done, your bare minimums done. And so when you know yourself what you need to get done, when you're clear on what you need to do to achieve your goals, it's fine. What happens is when people like put 1,000 things in their schedule, they're very wishy-washy about 50 things. It's like jack of all trades, master of none. Eggs in 50 baskets, like chase 2 hares, end up with none. Like focus on what you need to get done for you. Get it done as early as possible in the day, and then feel free to dedicate a little bit of time. I always love to dedicate time in particular to being an absolute slug. In your luteal phase, if you can honor this, which again, I know for me, I work from home and work for myself, maybe it's quite easy, right, to pencil this in. But for you, this could be a matter of, I'm going to get my gym session done at 6 a.m. It's the last thing I want to do is get to the gym at 6 a.m. I know it's busy, but then in the afternoon, I'm putting my phone away, I'm not speaking to anyone, and I'm just going to veg out on my couch and be an absolute sloth. For me, I've been going on lots of walks with friends this week because walking on my own, I'm like, I really don't want to do it. And so being able to walk with a girlfriend, I feel obliged to go. I don't want to cancel. And then we go, and it's so nice for both of us. We get our steps in and everything in between. With my training, it's in my calendar. I get it done. And then the sooner I'm done with my training, the sooner I get to be a sloth. The sooner I finish my work, the sooner I can be a slug. Once I start bleeding personally, I start to become more extroverted again, more let's be creative, let's do a lot of stuff. But for now, and in your luteal phase, the more that you can honor retreat, and if it means, again, you've got to do everything hardcore in the morning so that in the evenings you can honor that retreat, you will have less symptoms when it comes time to leading up to your bleed. When it comes to nervous system regulation around your luteal phase, we're so easily agitated, so easily irritable. And understandably, our Blood sugar isn't as sort of stable as it is in the first half of our cycle. So all these little things where we feel a bit hangry, we feel a bit sort of annoyed, that sort of a thing, brain fog, they're all things that when we navigate and we nurture our nervous system, especially in advance before we need to hit the ground running, we can just feel absolutely fantastic, continue getting things done. And if we do end up having a bit of a luteal phase cry, it's like one or two minor things. It's not uncontrollable sort of hormonal angst. Checking in, we are about to go train some grass-fed butter and ABC spread, which is just the tits. We're doing more of a quad focus training day today. I am just feeling real introverted. If you can't tell by like my language this entire week, we've still been getting stuff done. We're gonna get this quad session done, and I'm just super keen because I haven't trained my legs since Sunday. So I'm just super keen to be in that little bit of a pain cave.
Now this is the video I sent my coach of this exercise. I was like, I hate it, I don't want to be here. And she goes, it's because it's the dumbbell in the wrong hand. On this day, I did have to split up my session into two. It didn't bother me. I don't mind training in pajamas, especially when I am in my big introverted energy. I was feeling tired, didn't want to deal with people, and so I'm so lucky that, of course, I don't need to. If I really want to hang out in my garage and get it done, I can. This was subbed out instead of Smith machine split squats, and I wasn't even able to brace properly because my tummy was feeling so bloated, but we got through it well, and this is 63 kilos, so I've just got to back this up the coming week on the Smith machine with 63 or more kilograms. I really didn't want to keep this video in because I just looked so disheveled, but it was peak luteal phase energy. Okay, it's just not giving a damn. Hair's not even tied up in anything, it's just tied in a knot. And then of course we finished on some leg extensions. At the moment I have an isometric hold, some quarter reps, and then we go into some full repetitions. This is a really nice intensifier for the end of my workout, and I absolutely love it because it always forces me to challenge myself. The leg extension isn't an exercise that requires stabilizing from the body. It's very hard to do it wrong. So because of that, you can really push the limits and see what you're capable of with it. Now, a little bit of dark chocolate in your luteal phase is so beneficial. It actually reduces cramps too. I get 95%, and the cacao is so rich in antioxidants and also magnesium, which again helps to mitigate cramps and tastes absolutely amazing. I decided to be productive on Friday morning. I had a little client cancel, so I took myself to the shops and stocked up for the next week ahead. These are the seasonings that I use all the time. These are just mingle seasonings, and they just help to jazz up your food. So you can just cook it in your butter, cook it in your oil, and then give it a little bit of extra flavor. If you don't have them, you can use these. These are fine, but some of them, if you read the ingredients, also have seed oils.
All right, team, happy Friday. I am just off to the gym. I just had my lashes done, and it's upper body day. I'm just having my rice cakes in the car, a little bit of like meal prep, and yes, it's upper body. Gonna retry a glute exercise I did yesterday because I absolutely sucked at it. And I messaged my coach. I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. She was like, you were holding the dumbbell in the wrong hand. I was like, makes sense. But yeah, and then nice admin day today. I just really want to aim to get as much done as possible so that I can have the weekend to truly rest and recharge. I've already done my grocery shopping because I ended up having a client cancel. So I took advantage of that, and I've already completed all the meal plans for clients heading into next week. So it's just 2 programs to do now. So yeah, we're going to go to the gym now, get the session done, then do some admin, some meal prep. Tomorrow, really nice, easy day. It's check-in day, and I'll go for a walk in the morning with a girlfriend, do my check-in photos, have a couple calls with clients, And then I have a little mentoring session with an up-and-coming personal trainer too.
Now back for vengeance, I had to send my coach a video of me with the dumbbell in the correct hand. The exercise did feel much nicer, so now I'm excited to push it for the next few weeks. This training session felt pretty nice. It was an upper body session, but I did just want to make sure I could get this exercise right. So heading into next week, I wasn't stressing it and I wasn't fretting about having to do it either. And of course, coming into Saturday, we always start with a beautiful sunrise walk. It's check-in day, so I took my photos as well. Everything's looking good in terms of giving you guys a comparison. I'm excited because next week I will show you guys some 4-week comparisons. Overall, an uneventful, quiet and introverted week, which is just how we like it in luteal phase. Catch you guys next week for week 3 of the cut.